Cody,
Yeah.
what did you do to your wife's car?
I broke it again.
You broke it again.
Yeah.
The first time he broke it was out here in a parking lot doing a burnout and kabang the transmission. That was spectacular.
Yeah.
So you guys who aren't familiar, you haven't seen this car before, this is Cody Walker. This is his wife Kristen's car. And this thing is bad. This is a bad car.
Yeah, it's a 68 Chrysler Newport that we built for Kristen. She wanted a big cruiser. I may have gotten a little carried away with the engine, but
Just a little carried away. Well, she wanted more than just a cruiser. She wanted to do a drag and drive.
Yeah, she wanted to drive on a drag and drive. She's always been my co-pilot, and she wanted to do the driver thing.
So we showed his Dart. We did a feature on your Dart a few months ago. So he's got a drag and drive 71.
Yep.
71 360 supercharged, turbocharged, right? Very successful car. You've run that thing for how many seasons now?
Oh, we've done 6 or 7 drag and drives with that car.
Right. So now it's Kristen's turn. But you keep breaking it, bro. What happened here?
Yeah, so we got this thing, got the Andy Mays built a new transmission for it, a lot of better parts in this transmission to keep it from exploding again.
Right.
Billet front drum, ultimate sprag, some of that stuff.
Yeah, Andy's a friend of ours. He's got a shop right down the street over here.
Went to a reverse manual valve body this time. Anyhow, first pass down the track, just the shakedown pass. I don't take it very easy on anything. So
Obviously.
Pulled the front wheel off the ground. Everything was going great down the track as we were going fine. And then we got to the stripe. I heard a pop, got out of it, and it broke the tail shaft housing. So I think the drive shaft was so out of balance that, it let go. And
So you had the drive shaft was new.
Yep. Yeah, it was a freshly built, with the big U-joints, billet slip yoke, but I think they had a bad day balancing it, I guess.
Yeah, an otherwise reputable shop here in Nashville, but everybody makes mistakes. And it is possible that the car itself, because you tell me this thing weighs 4,400 pounds, and I call you a liar, because we just tried to push this thing in here.
Yeah.
And it, like, no joke, it rolls like it weighs 10,000 pounds.
Yeah, it does.
Right? I mean, the two of us are just struggling to push this thing back. And we're no strangers to pushing cars. So, but you say it weighs 4,400 pounds. You scaled it at 4,400 pounds.
Yep.
And the car ran what now?
It ran on that first pass, the first and only pass, it went a 760 at 93 mile an hour.
760 at 93 miles an hour. That's a shakedown pass. And this is a normally aspirated. We did a whole video on this car, so we'll put a link to that video if you guys want to see the details. But that's 44 plus you.
Yep.
And you're a good 200 pounds.
Oh yeah.
Right? So it's 4,600 pounds. Normally aspirated, no blower, no supercharger, no nothing. First shakedown pass on the car, 760s. It spits the drive shaft out of it in the lights. How fast is this car going to go?
I think I'll get it down to 720s, maybe better.
Yeah. So a quarter mile, it's already in the 11s, first pass.
And no cage, so we won't be allowed to go quicker than 1150 in the quarter mile. So.
Right.
Yeah.
But that doesn't really count at the tracks around here.
Exactly.
So,
I want to be able to go to some of these grudge things, and nobody assume anything and it go quicker than that.
Exactly, yeah. See, there's a big grudge scene like at Jackson and I think at Etheridge, which is, so now it's only the middle of October and our local tracks, Music City and Buffalo Valley, are both done for the season. So we're going to get together. I plan on getting out to the track 2 times before the end of the year, once for Slaghammer and once for Bottle Rocket over here. So we'll team up and we'll run down to Etheridge together.
Yeah.
They're open until Thanksgiving.
Yep.
Yeah. Is Kristen ever going to actually get a chance to drive this thing?
I hope so.
Keep blowing it up.
I hope so. We want to get her some wheel time on the street as I'm tuning on it, and I'll let her make the next pass so that I don't get a chance to break it again.
I noticed it's got power steering.
It does. Well, when there's a belt on there.
It needs it.
Yeah.
All right. So that's the update on this. All right, so you're going to just keep putting this thing back together again.
Yep.
Let me show you guys what I've been doing, because I haven't been doing very much in the shop the last few weeks. We're finally getting back into the swing of things. Been working on the Belvedere, the mule car. I welded the firewall patch back in because the Jeep setup is gonna have to wait. I am totally stoked on the propane deal. So this is what I've been working on. I mounted, so here's the deal. You can't just be out on the road someplace and be, oh, I'm out of propane, let me pull into the propane station. It don't work that way. So I have to set this car up so that it's got one tank that it's going to run on and a spare tank so I could just swap over. So what we did was I mounted the first tank over here. I don't know if this is going to be the primary tank or just a spare tank, but we're going to mount a second tank right here the same way. And I have to do it this way because we're also going to put a fuel cell for gasoline in here so that we can do back-to-back testing. We can go from the propane setup with the propane throttle body and then swap over to a carburetor and run it back-to-back. So we don't have to go crazy re-engineering the car. We can make these swaps in just a few minutes. So that's what's going on with this. I still have to get underneath the car. It needs brakes, brake lines, all kinds of stuff, suspension pieces. I have to just bite the bullet, climb underneath there, and get it done. But that's what's going on with the car itself. And I'll show you the motor. This is the cool, like you can't, this car pegs the cool meter. You just cannot beat this. What do you guys call this? Cody?
What's that?
What do you guys call this car?
It's quite the pirate ship, but I don't know that we have an official name for it.
Needs a name. It's got to be Kristen. And it's big enough to break a bottle of champagne on it, you know?
Yeah.
Beautiful. All right, so the motor. So the last time you guys saw this, we had it running on propane. Now, I was mistaken about something. I was under the impression, because of things that I had read, I was under the impression that the regulator needed to be mounted higher than the throttle body on these. But as it turns out, it doesn't. The regulator can actually be at any height. So I permanently mounted it here at the front of the engine, made a bracket for it. So now it's level and everything's nice and easily serviceable here. This is how we're going to do all of our initial testing with the propane, and at least get used to it, right? So the regulator's mounted up here. I've got the water pump. I built the motor plates for it, so now we don't need any mounts underneath. We don't need K-frame or anything like that. Quick in and out engine. The water pump is all good to go. I need to still plumb the water lines to the pump and finish making up brackets for the alternator. I've got to find. You would think I would have 10,000 of these brackets. They're universal to these engines, and I think I've given them all away. So I've got to go either hunt. You don't have any of these brackets, do you?
No, I don't.
All right. Yeah, I'm going to have to break down and actually buy some. I hate buying things. So this should be ready to go in the car over the next couple of few weeks, and let the testing begin. And that's it. That's the update on everything that's going on here now, I think. Did I cover everything? Kat, did I leave anything out?
These
No. All right. Do we have any new merch or anything like that in the store?
new merch now.
No. Okay. Well, that's it. I'm out of stuff to talk about. I'll see you tomorrow.